Well, shalom, shalom. I'm Barbara, and I'm always short and sweet. Well, Pope staff have a pine cone symbol on it. And did you know that the Pinecone symbol is a pagan symbol of fertility and regeneration? Well, it all started back in Babylon. The Pinecone pagan symbol has been around ever since Babylon, and it's the fruit of the evergreen tree, and it has been revered in the pagan groups and even in religious groups of today. And they worshipped and coveted eternal life by worshiping the nature's objects of the pine cone and the pine tree. So it says in Romans 1:25, who, unrighteous men, changed the truth of Jehovah into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. So they are worshiping and revering part of nature, a pine cone. And in this picture is an Assyrian winged god, and he's holding a pine cone in his hand. And in Babylon, the pine cone is described as the fertility and also regeneration power of Tammuz. And you will remember we've done a video on who is Tammuz and his mother Semiramis, who is the queen of heaven, supposedly birthed the Messiah Tammuz 1,000 years before Yeshua, Messiah, was born, or Jesus, you may know him as. So the pine cone staff was a symbol of the sun or solar god Osiris in Egypt. And we also know that him is Tammuz, and the mother Isis in Egypt was also Semiramis. They all have the same names that are interchangeable with the same doctrine of fertility. So this symbol was the two snakes winding up towards the cone. And there it explains it again. So it's also in Hindu religions, the Indian religions, and this Kundalini, and all this chakras religion, and all this stuff is all part of the third eye, and that is represented as the pine cone. And here you have the Hinduism religion again, and it has the snakes and the pine cone on top of the Shiva's head, and it's all about representing serpents and pine cones. The Greeks and Romans also incorporated the pine cone into their elaborate systems of religious belief, and their false god, Dionysus, later known as Bacchus to the Romans, was continually holding a thyrsus fennel staff. And you'll see the pine cone on the top of that right there. And it was a religious instrument. The Romans later built an enormous 11-foot tall pine cone, 3 stories tall, and it was supposed to be the sculpture that stood at the top of the Pantheon on top of the Isis center for building for Isis, the temple of Isis on top of her temple. So, but it's come to be now in the Vatican City in the Pinecone Square. So why is this in the Vatican City the largest pinecone sculpture in the world? The Roman Catholic Church very openly follows pagan idol worshiping by using these pagan symbols. And also this was already here in Rome before Vatican owned the land. So why does the Vatican have a giant sculpture of an on-blossom pine cone with Egyptian writing under it in their courtyard? And why is there a depiction of an on-blossom pine cone on the Pope's staff? Have they ever given an explanation as to why this is? In the Papal ferula, from Latin ferula or rod, is the pastoral staff used in the Catholic Church by the Pope. And in paganism, The thyrsus was a wand or giant staff of fennel, also ferula, communist, of prosperity, fertility, hedonism, pleasure, enjoyment in general. So it's the same definition. This is the Pope's staff with a pine cone, the ultimate pagan symbol. Since the ultimate goal of religion is the securing of eternal life, we should not be surprised that the Pope should be carrying the ultimate pagan symbol of eternal life. And the pine cone also represents the pineal gland, or the third eye, and as we've said, immortality, fertility, and it is used in magic. So why does the Pope's staff have a pine cone? Do they know that it is a pagan symbol? Yes, they do. So by now, I hope you are persuaded that Roman Catholicism utilizes the pine cone just as many pagan religions in history have done. Please watch the previous YouTube videos that we've done showing where Catholicism has incorporated many elements of pagan practices with their doctrines and rituals. So Jeremiah 10:2 says, "Do not learn the ways of the heathen." And he says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Hosea 4:6. Maybe you are in a church that uses these symbols. Just please know that he's calling you to wake up and come out of her, come out of Babylon. So he says, please, he says that in Revelation 18:4, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers in her sins." So remember, I'm short and sweet. And I hope to be back next week, yeah, willing. And please like if this was a blessing to you.